checkered flag.
Unbelievable finish. I can't call that one. It is so close.
What a finish.
What a remarkable, sensational finish.
Did I really just win this race?
He's going to get him, though. He's going to get him. Have you ever? No, I've never.
Incredible.
Wow.
10. It's Richard Petty. 100. 9.
Keselowski scores the lead.
That's one great race.
7.
Petty.
6.
Into the wall.
5. 4. Petty by a foot. 3.
Checker flag.
2.
For the sixth time.
Johnson.
1.
And there's a fight. They have lost.
The List. Frantic finishes. In NASCAR, the only road to victory lane runs through the finish line, the painted stripe that stretches across the racetrack. Every driver knows, cross this line first and you're a winner. Don't, and you're just one of the many. In their thirst to be first, the drivers of NASCAR have given us many a thrilling finish. Here's our list of the top 10 finishes of all time. Number 10. The 2011 chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship was one of the all-time greats. Driver-owner Tony Stewart had run 26 regular season races with 0 wins. With just 10 playoff races remaining, Stewart knew that his only hope of becoming champion lay in his ability to start winning.
12 drivers looking to take the first step in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup green flag at Chicagoland. Fuel holds up. Tony Stewart opens the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup with his first win of the season. Tony Stewart wins at New Hampshire.
That's right, boys. 2 in a row.
Tony Stewart wins at Martinsville.
Carl Edwards not going to sleep for the next 3 weeks. He better be really worried.
With his 4th win in his bid for the championship, Tony Stewart takes the checkered flag at Texas.
Stewart, with his 4 wins, was still 3 championship points behind single race winner Carl Edwards heading into the final race at Homestead, Miami. The championship would go to he who finished strongest.
Stewart 3 wide in turn 1 on the first lap.
He said he wasn't going to hold back any, and he proved that right from the green flag. Stewart has hit something, and it has put a big hole in the front of the grill.
Oh, yes. This is not over.
Here comes Tony underneath Carl Edwards.
He was 9th for the restart. 2 laps, he's 3rd.
Tony Stewart takes 2nd.
Everybody all right down there now? Clear bubbling. You're the leader.
The gamble, can they make it to the end on fuel? They're going for it.
Stewart by Keselowski to the lead.
Edwards gets a little bit physical, and he comes away with the number 2 position.
The points are tied right now. It's just plain and simple.
If Stewart stays in front of him, Tony's the champ on the tiebreaker. Most wins.
Here's Tony Stewart putting a punctuation mark on the dramatic chase performance in 2011.
And he's going to become a 3-time NASCAR Sprint Cup champion. Tony Stewart wins it.
One of the greatest 10 race stretches in NASCAR history.
Number 9.
Not a lot of favors, not a lot of cooperating, especially in the final miles or so of this race. It's going to be an exciting day of racing.
Pace car is off. The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series going racing on the road course in Watkins Glen.
Outside us.
Kyle Busch surges ahead as they head for turn number 2. Has he got the room? He slides across the nose of Montoya. Here comes Keselowski. He gets into Kyle.
It slides. Gotcha.
And it's Keselowski the leader.
Come on. Green flag. Green flag.
They go 3 wide.
Got it.
Here they come. Keselowski slides wide. He's in the grass. Ambrose is in the grass.
Come on. You're clear. Dig, dig, dig.
Here comes Ambrose way wide. They are side by side. Move Ambrose to the top spot. Contact is made. Ambrose up the racetrack. Here comes Keselowski down to the inside. They're side by side.
Outside of you. Come on, you got it. You got it.
Marcus Ambrose, for the 2nd year in a row, will win. Woo! Yeah, baby! Yes!
Man, I can't believe it. Woo! Woo!
They'll talk about this one for a long, long time. You can't see any better racing that we saw all afternoon here at Watkins Glen.
Maybe he thinks if he runs across the start-finish line, it'll count.
It's going to be a drag race all the way back to the start-finish line.
2 down and 8 to go on our list of the 10 greatest NASCAR Sprint Cup finishes. Number 8.
Here comes Mark Martin.
I hear thunder.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm probably going to see lightning here before long.
Mark Martin felt like even driving part-time, this is going to be his best shot at winning a Daytona 500. Boy, it's getting tight back there. 3 wide will not work. Here comes Gordon, making it 4 wide down the back straightaway.
They're starting to just bounce off each other. You can only get away with that until the tires start to give up. I mean, there they go.
There's Jimmy Johnson, the 48 car. Here we go.
That was inevitable. It had to happen. You can't be this late in the race, be bunched up like that and not have trouble.
And Mark Martin, trying to win the Daytona 500 for the 23rd try, is out in front.
Mark Martin, hang on, baby.
Got to stay in that throttle now.
Oh, there's a car in trouble.
Jamie McMurray, the 26 car, bounces off the outside wall.
And around they go. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Cinch your belts up, because when they wave the green flag this time by, we will race up to 2 laps to determine the winner. Green flag. White flag, 1 lap to go.
Mark Martin is driving the race of his life.
And here comes Harvick, the 29 with Matt Kenseth.
Oh, Mark got loose. Mark got loose.
And Harvick's getting a run off turn 4. It's going to be a drag race all the way back to the start-finish line. No caution. They're side by side, right to the line.
Big crash. Here they come. Checkered flag. Harvick. Kevin Harvick wins the Daytona 500.
We got 1 car on his roof coming across the start-finish line.
Still wrecking. They're wrecking everywhere.
And Mark Martin, a bridesmaid once again.
I really thought they were going to throw the caution. I was still ahead, and they were wrecking behind, and if they would have just thrown the yellow, it was in our fingers, but they waited and they waited and they waited, and I didn't have any pusher at the end.
Can't believe it. I mean, we were 30-something there with 15 laps to go, and we came up through there. Man, this is a Daytona 500. Can you believe it?
Number 7.
For the 80th time here at Talladega, green flag goes in the air, and we are underway. It's almost utter chaos the first 3 or 4 laps.
Contact! Jeff Gordon is into the outside wall.
This is a mess in turn number 4. They're still crashing and colliding.
Hey, you all right, bud? Yeah, done for now. I don't know.
Wild racing after a big crash early. We thought they might settle down just a little bit, but when you come to Talladega, apparently it's just in your blood. They haven't let up 1 bit.
We're seeing some new faces up front. Brad Keselowski is down low.
Junior just jumped in behind you. 88's on your inside corner now.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. gets into Keselowski. What a save.
Keep digging, man. Good job. Try not to lose the pack. We're all good. Keep it up, Brad. Keep it right against him.
99 and 09's got a run going on the outside. Need to go to the top. If you guys can go to the top, go now. Nope, too late.
Carl Edwards now leads the way. Brad Keselowski on his back bumper.
You just watch him in your mirror. He's all over you here, just you and him. That's it. Don't go below the yellow.
Contact here at the tri-oval. Edwards goes up in the air. A wild crash as they come down to the start-finish line. Brad Keselowski scores the victory.
Not sure where Carl's going. Maybe he thinks if he runs across the start-finish line, it'll count.
And he did.
Holy cow. I don't know what to say, guys. Did I really just win this race?
I got to apologize to Carl for wrecking him, but man, the rule is you can't go below the yellow line, and he blocked, and I wasn't going below it. So I don't want to wreck a guy, but you're forced in that situation. So, but there's nothing else I could do. We had a lot of fun tonight.
For the first time in his NASCAR Sprint Cup career, Brad Keselowski is in victory lane.
Number 6.
Quite honestly, it looks to me as if it's raining just about as hard as it has rained in the last half hour or so.
The fans have waited patiently. They're ready. Here's the green flag, and the race is underway.
Late speed crashes.
A little bump back there for Dale Earnhardt.
Earnhardt is back on pit road on this caution period. Now Terry Labonte takes the lead from Dale Jarrett.
While this has been going on, Dale Earnhardt has quietly moved back up to 7th spot. He's going to the inside.
That moves him to 6th. Earnhardt, though, is on the move once again.
He's currently 4th.
Yeah, he's about to take 3rd from Darrell Waltrip. This is just an amazing run for Dale Earnhardt tonight.
second place.
He'll get the white flag this time around. There's Earnhardt lurking in second position off of corner 4. Terry Labonte gets the white flag, but still has his traffic to contend with.
And a slow car right around Earnhardt is right on his back bump.
Let's see what strategy he pulls. No, Labonte is sideways, but wins the race, crashes, and he wins anyway. How about that? Whoa!
That was a finish, wasn't it? Dale caught me, gave me a little shot in the back there, and I just stood in the gas, and, we beat him across the line.
Just like a year ago, he's going to get him, though. He's going to get him.
Weatherly is high on the track. Lee Petty in the center.
And I didn't try to wreck, didn't run him in the wall or nothing. I think he's a little upset.
We reached the halfway point on our list of the 10 greatest NASCAR Sprint Cup finishes.
Keep digging. Come on, you got it. Woo! Yeah, baby!
Number 5.
Here comes 20 of the best in NASCAR stock car racing, the Winston. Bill Elliott has the lead. Dale Earnhardt almost got on the wall. Earnhardt may be pushing Bodine. Bodine going for the lead. Tire smoke. Bodine spinning. And Earnhardt goes into the lead. Elliott is second. Look how close he is to Earnhardt coming down on turn number 4. Elliott trying to slide underneath him, and Dale won't buy it. Elliott closes again right in behind Earnhardt. And Earnhardt loses it, goes on the grass, comes back, and Elliott goes inside. And Earnhardt still got the lead. Incredible. Decent driving by Earnhardt. Earnhardt went on the grass, down the home straight. And was still able to hold on to his lead. And now Elliott gives up low and goes high. And he's loose at the turn and has to drop back. And it is Earnhardt for $200,000. Now look at this.
Well, that was something else. You know, Bill spun that 95 car out and caused a big mess, and then he come up there and tried to spin me out twice. I didn't take it. And I didn't try to wreck it, didn't run him in the wall or nothing. Then he tried to wreck me after the caution there. I think he's a little upset.
You know, he was trying to cut me off every way he could. You know, the thing of it is, you go out and you run as hard as you can all day long, and then him trying to cut you out to outrun it, that ain't the way I was brought up racing. If we're going to let stuff like that go, we'll see what happens next week.
Number 4.
The new Daytona International Speedway, $3 million, built this 2.5 mile speedway. The largest crowd ever gathered at Daytona. Wait for the fast cars to run. The race is on. The first 50 miles are run in 23 minutes, 142 miles an hour. Only 40 cars still running at 300 miles. Petty in number 42 Oldsmobile, Beauchamp in number 73 Thunderbird in a showdown race, pasted together at 135 miles an hour. Beauchamp hangs on Petty's tail, using the vacuum created by number 42 to pull him along. Number 48, Joe Weatherly, is a lap behind. There's the white flag. The leaders enter the last lap in a dead heat in the final stretch. Weatherly is high on the track. Lee Petty in the center, Beauchamp below him. The checkered flag. The race is over. Petty and Beauchamp both wheel to the winner's circle. The on-the-spot, unofficial decision went to Beauchamp, pending examination of photos. The official decision, based on photos such as this, gave Lee Petty in number 42 the victory by a margin of less than 1 yard.
Number 3.
Every race this season to honor the memory of Dale Earnhardt, we will be silent on the third lap of the race.
And they touch at the start-finish line.
Here comes Harvey.
3 wide.
3 wide. Here comes Dale Jr. They're all over each other now.
Look at Gordon getting that run. Runs up on the back of Dale Earnhardt Jr. all the way up to the top of the racetrack.
I don't think Dale Jr. will get it. He's going to
3 wide and 1. Harvick the leader. Harvick eased it into 3 to get a good run off for it and got him the lead. 5 laps to go.
thought last year's photo finish was a thriller. This may be better.
Here comes Jeff Gordon closing down on Harvick.
Kevin Harvick trying to become only the 5th driver in NASCAR history to win in only his 3rd Winston Cup start. And somewhere, too, must be Dale Earnhardt, because this is his car that Kevin Harvick is driving. The paint is different, the number's different.
Get up off your seats. Here they go. Just like a year ago. He's going to get him, though. Here they go. Get him. Gordon got loose. It's Harvick. Harvick by inches. Harvick by inches. Harvick by inches.
So 6/1,000ths of a second.
Hey, listen to the crowd. I mean, that's incredible.
As the fans saluted Dale with the number 3 on the 3rd lap, Kevin Harvick salutes him on the way to victory lane.
If I was him, I'd run that thing out of gas riding around here. Fisher coming out and congratulating him. This is like when Dale won the Daytona 500.
It is. Look, there's not a team that isn't down there represented that didn't congratulate him.
I'm just thrilled. I kept praying for Dale to help us. He did.
None of us expected this soon, and the unfortunate circumstances, and all I got to say is this one's for Dale.
Pearson moves in front of the STP Dodge. Petty comes back to the inside. They almost touch.
Side by side, somebody's got to give.
And in the wall goes Busch.
Let's recap our top NASCAR Sprint Cup finishes so far.
Here's Tony Stewart.
One of the greatest 10 race stretches in NASCAR history.
Here they come. Keselowski slides wide. He's in the grass. Ambrose is in the grass. Move Ambrose to the top spot.
It's going to be a drag race all the way back to the start-finish line. Checkered flag. Harvick.
A wild crash. Edwards goes up in the air. Brad Keselowski scores the victory.
Lamont is sideways but wins the race. Crashes and he wins anyway.
And Earnhardt loses it, goes on the grass, comes back, and Earnhardt still got the lead. Incredible.
The official decision gave Lee Petty the victory by a margin of less than 1 yard.
Gordon got loose. It's Harvick. Harvick wins.
We are now down to the final 2 finishes. Who is going to be number 1? Number 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Daytona 500 is inching down for a start. The green flag is out to start the greatest stock car race in the world. White flag comes out. Richard Petty in front.
Petty gets out the groove. He gets a little high, then pulls it right down to the center of the groove this time. Here's Pearson knocking on the doors, right on the bumper, pulls it up and tightens it up. He is pulled up, and here he goes down to the inside on Petty. He shows his nose to the inside, the Purolator Mercury, and David Pearson has the lead going into turn number 3.
As they hit the banking, they're 3 abreast with a lap car. Pearson moves in front of the STP Dodge. Petty comes back to the inside. They almost touch as they move down low in the banking. They're going to be side by side as they exit the bank and head for the finish line.
They both spin. They're in the wall. Petty is sliding, slamming into the wall. He's coming down toward the finish line. Will he make it? He's still moving. The car stops 300, 400 feet shy of the finish line. Pearson is still running. David Pearson moving down through as they come to the stripe. The winner is car number 21. An amazing finish. Richard Petty's car demolished the front end as well as car number 21. An unbelievable finish.
Okay, Richard Petty in the car on the lower part there. He comes through at turn 4. It was a late, and look at the car sliding. The tire smoke's coming off, and it seems that he slid in there to David Pearson. He slides across him. Then he tries to correct, and it looks just at this moment as if he's got it corrected. David Pearson's car slams right in to the wall, very hard as you can see. Then Richard Petty starts to go loose again. The tail end is out. He overcorrects the car, and it too goes straight into that wall there.
Car number 21, David Pearson, has come home victorious. The race is over.
Well, Chris, I drafted by him going down the backstretch, and naturally, I guess if his car got to pushing or something, he just pushed right on up into me and naturally hit me and spun me around and stopped before he got across the finish line, and I cranked back up and kept going.
Pearson has won the Daytona 500 in the most dramatic finish in the history of the game.
Number 1. The number 1 NASCAR finish took place at the historic Darlington Raceway. and is the closest finish in NASCAR Sprint Cup history.
Kurt Busch lost an engine in practice, started 42nd, and now he leads by 3 seconds. Fastest car on the speedway is Ricky Craven.
Craven is coming. I'm telling you, I don't think he's going to have time. But if something happened to Busch, you get up here and get in traffic and get woed up a little bit, we got another race on our. We got a race to the finish.
Craven is 1/4 of a second faster than Kurt Busch. With 12 laps to go, Darrell, that's enough time.
Craven's faster by far, and I tell you, he's got time. It's going to be really exciting. Really exciting. Right, watch Craven on this end of the racetrack. Really gets off of turn 4 hard. So here he goes. Craven gets that high right out next to that wall. Watch.
Right there.
Close.
Right there in the middle.
Cuts down. He's going to make it down. He's going to get down under him. That's not the way to do it. I don't know. Come on, baby. Come on.
Side by side. 2 laps to go. Somebody's got to give. Getting into turn 1.
Nobody. And in the wall goes Busch.
That was not a very good idea.
Look, the crossover move. He got into it.
Come on, clear. Baby, I'm telling you, Kurt Busch is not going to give up the win.
Ricky Craven's not going to give up either.
Come on, Ricky.
He gets that run on the high side right there. Kurt Busch looks like he's struggling with his race car.
Here he comes. Here we go again.
Half a mile
Here
to
he
go.
comes. Here he comes.
Who's going to get off?
Here he comes. Here he comes. He's got him this time.
It's going to be a drag race. Wow. They touch. They touch.
Craven got him. Craven got him.
And
Craven. All right. What a finish.
have you ever?
No, I've never.
Wow.
What a finish.
That is one happy group right there.
That's one great race. I'm going to tell you, it's the goodest race I've ever seen at Darlington.
Sorry, we got wrecked race car.
You guys seem to get
That's the way it goes. That was a lot of fun. I'm sorry that we got wrecked race cars. I had no power steering.
Just keep moving, really?
Yeah, it was gone.
I really didn't think I had a shot. It came off the front.
Look at Craven in there. Look at him fighting that steering wheel.
And it's a good thing that Pontiac's got the kick out on the nose.
Yeah, that was the difference.
But he wouldn't have won.
Look at how close this finish is.
2 1,000ths of a second.
Wow.
There you have our 10 fantastic NASCAR finishes. The list may be debated, but the sweetness of victory is without question.